There has to be some data here on the adamantine wreath we can use.
I trust your focus will see what mine cannot. Oh, that's interesting.
Find something?
What?
The 4th test station. Willow. It looks like it's underwater.
Huh. That might be worth a look sometime.
Not now. Feeding the world. Talakino personal log. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, Arthur C. Clarke. But you are supposed to understand the trick once it is done. When the curtain pulls back to reveal the mirrors, yet I still have no idea how we achieved this act of scientific conjuring. It's not just the speed with which the projects have come together, or the stability of the results despite the complexity of the bioengineering. It isn't even the huge variety of crops that can now be made more heat, drought, and disease resistant. It is the simple fact that all these results are tangible. No announcements in scientific journals, no celebrating predictions born from simulations. Our research has become manifest in physical artifacts. Where a dream took root in an abandoned industrial site 4 years ago, now there stands row upon row of automated FAS farming units, each of which can conduct gene manipulation in the field. The actual field. These robots analyze soil composition, light intensity, temperature, wind speed, and 100 other factors. Then, utilizing the gene sequences we created, they can select or construct a plant to produce the best yields for that location. Of course, all of the crops these units create are best harvested by other FAS machines, but when a population is starving, what government is going to quibble about being forced to use our robots to speed things up? Should I be uncomfortable? Watching Ted Pharaoh's coffers swell with money from the desperate and the starving? Maybe. But I know that it is his belief, money, and drive that has filled the world's empty stomachs. Desperation can only be experienced by the living, and we have given them back their lives, us, our work. Pharaoh's resources, science's triumph. Together we have changed the world. Yeah. It's always a dilemma, right?
I must have faith. I walk with the ancestors. We shall find what we seek.
It's a dilemma between incentives, like monetary incentives, and
But so much is still hidden from my focus.
I mean, you can only have progress if you have monetary incentives, right? Without it, maybe they could not achieve what they achieved.
Operational.
Other than the wreaths.
Holo projector. Oh, this one?
Another log.
We're done in every way. The wreaths work, and Cobble came through on a way to destroy them. Downloading a coded key into the deployment shell triggers an enzyme that causes the wreaths to eat themselves from within. But it's too late. The latest projections from US Robot Command have swarm reproduction, outpacing our ability to drop the shells by 375%. Not even close. I guess we deserve this. I deserve it for what I made here. This will be my last log before evacuation.
So all their efforts were in vain. They ran out of time.
At least we have the software module they created. It should get rid of the vines produced by the metal flowers. I need a workbench to load the module into my spear.
There's one back at our camp. The map showed a path leading back there past the next room.
The workbench is in your camp? It will be full of soldiers, I imagine. Are you sure you're okay with that? Me killing the soldiers? Oh. Marjane Nafisi has resigned. Tala Kino personal log. From Marjane's letter. It is with regret that I resign. I share that regret, Marjane. You served as an excellent deputy, but no single person is above the team or the project. I came to create life, not to destroy it. After all we've achieved together, I did not expect such lack of vision. Yes, our research has shifted direction, but biomass conversion is no different than burning wood in a stove or distilling ethanol from molasses. It is a method to release solar energy that was captured organically. Yes, there are military applications for this technology, but that does not mean there is a logical, moral argument against biomass conversion itself. To say so is emotional petulance, plain and simple. The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. Isaac Asimov. For Nafisi to end her letter with a quotation made it a direct attack. Oh yeah, she's using her own weapon against her. Childish, disappointing, personal. Any sadness I might have had about her departure left me in that moment. I wish her luck with whatever position she is able to find, but the greenhouse will continue on all the stronger now that it is free from such narrow thinking. I'll sum up with another quote, one better suited to the circumstances. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less, Marie Curie. But in hindsight, Nafisi was completely correct. Like, in the end, her research about biomass conversion ended the world, literally. You can't deny that fact now.
That must be the 4th testing station we saw on the map.
Looks like it's been flooded for a while.
It's flooded?
In here. We'll have to climb up.
Right behind you!
We can use the line to get down.
Right! Easy!
You okay? Are you afraid of heights? Come on, that's not that high up. Do we expect company?
Made it!
Easy peasy,
Better
right?
at least. After we encountered barbarians, our lieutenant called for reinforcements. They could be here any time.
Right.
Great.
There. The workbench you need.
A vine cutter. Installed on a spear, this code module can be used to dissolve a metal flower's vines. Is there anything else I'd like to craft? I don't think I can craft anything. Except maybe ammo. Okay.
Now what?
Now, we get to that data core.
Look at all the people I killed. The data core where Demeter is in. Presumably. Data core
Let's hope
testing
this new module
facility.
works.
Use melee attacks to open a metal flower. Oh,
That was
how many
blooming.
times?
Let's see if the software works.
Tap to dissolve the metal flower's vines. Oh,
Vines. They're falling apart.
Door's clear now.
The data core looks intact.
Time to bring Demeter home. Demeter? It's time to go home. To Gaia.
The seed of life. Yes.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Demeter's subordinate function to original code.
this should help against the blight now. Wait, her focus is malfunctioning? Oh,
What did you do?
it's okay.
I've never seen my focus glitch like that.
I found a special type of data. It's something you can't read. But it kept a tight grip on the data core. But now you should have access to the central server. All of it. Should give you something to bring home.
You were right. Hundreds of archives. Almost all of it relating to agriculture. It would take us years to get through all of this. But we don't have that kind of time. What you said before about...
Ooh. That was very close.
Hold your fire! By the word of the ancestors, you must stop. Come. Look at who you fired on.
That barbarian killed our soldiers!
Yeah.
Only those who fired blindly. She is no barbarian. She gave me the data we need. Come. Look at her.
I look like a barbarian though.
Can't you see? Elizabeth Sobek stands before you. An ancestor reborn.
What? She knows Elizabeth?
Divine,
They all know Elizabeth.
we should bring the ancestor back.
It is we who follow their word, Commander, not the other way around. My apologies, Dr. Sobek. Our people's faith is strong, but there are those who are not as familiar with the legacy as they should be.
You heard the diviner. The data has been found. You two, with me. The rest of you, meet us back at the beach for return to landfall.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't have to
Can't talk long. They will have many questions.
take Alva as a
do I.
hostage.
Your people know a lot about the past. And about Sobek, I guess, but they're...
Please, I must know. What you said before about working towards the same goal, how long will it take?
I don't know. A few months?
Then you are my family's best hope. Let nothing get in your way. You have opened my eyes to many things, and for that, I thank you. But now you must go.
Will I see you again?
Soon we return to Legacy's landfall. It might be dangerous for you to go there.
Well, tell me how to reach it, just in case.
We made landfall on the northeast edge of the sunken city. The currents around the archipelago are vicious, and the only approach is from the south. And it is guarded. Only attempt to go there if you must.
Diviner, what's the delay?
Please, go. If you attempt to stay here any longer, they may want to take you with us, and that won't go well for anyone.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you. Seems like we'll meet her again. Maybe.
I better do as Alva says. I need to get Demeter back to Gaia anyway. But I might want to explore the area before I make the trek back to base. And now I can use the vine cutter on those other metal flowers I found earlier.
Beautiful, we can now backtrack, yay! I don't know if I want to do that, to be honest. But let's get back to our base, shall we? I think the easiest way is to just spend a fast travel pack. Yeah, let's just spend a fast travel back. Oh, I need to buy some. I don't have much of those. I only have 3 or something. Everyone, hello, I return victorious. No, let's talk to everyone first before going to Gaia. Can't really reflect. That's fine.
What?
Kotalo?
Nothing. You just look good.
Oh, stop it, Val.
Studying.
What the heck? Too cute.
You busy?
One must never be idle when at war. But there is always time to speak to one's commander.
Oh, that's not really how I see myself.
It is how we see you.
Oh. Okay.
Anything interesting happen while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to practice with my blade.
Oh, and where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of sunwings that are always up for a fight.
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not trying to kill you?
That would defeat the purpose of the training.
Oh. Okay. I think the purpose of training is not to die, right?
What have you been up to?
Varl has asked to learn the differences between my people's clans, so I've been teaching him Tenakth history. It is heavy with blood and death, but also with honorable deeds and vanquished tyrants. Maybe you'd like to hear about it as well, when our mission is done.
I'd be honored.
I'd love that. That's all you had to say?
I'll let you get back to your training.
And so will I.
Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed about the companion dialogues. Zoe, what about the code we got?
Aloy, you've returned. And you come bearing gifts. Does this mean we'll soon be able to uproot the zeniths from our lands?
That's what
Maybe.
I'm hoping.
Good.
It looked like you were working on something over there.
With Gaia now growing in strength, I've been trying to find a way to heal the land gods, even if some people think I should give up on them.
Already said I was sorry.
Val, what the
Your
heck?
friend thought it'd be a good idea to replace the land gods with new machines when Gaia recovers.
It
Oh,
wasn't.
The land gods have taken care of our people for generations. They are not some broken toy to be thrown away. Even if they are just machines doing their job, to abandon them in their time of suffering seems cruel.
I'm sure Varl understands that too.
actually, I agree with Val.
I was pretty mad at him at first.
You know I can hear you guys, right?
We're just pointedly ignoring Val. Honestly, Zoe is very much attached to her land gods, machines. But even now, knowing the truth about Gaia and stuff, she still is. I guess it's deeply ingrained in her culture.
Varl looks pretty focused.
He's been obsessing over the data revealed to us by Poseidon. Just the other day, we read about mountains hiding deep underwater that spew fire. If I understand correctly, Gaia said the flames they release come from the very center of the earth, like a heart beating with the life of the world. As always, the cycle can be found in even the most unlikely of places. Of course, Varl's mostly interested in watching explosions happen underwater.
Yeah, okay. I mean, focus on the similarities.
You ever play that board game Aaron set up?
Strike? I'm the one who gave it to him.
Oh,
I was hoping it'd distract him enough to spare us that ruckus he calls death metal. No such luck.
I mean, you can play Strike and listen to death metal, I guess.
I should get going.
If you need me, you know where to find me.
I did not take Zoe for a Metal Strike player. Machine Strike player.
Aloy, is that what I think it is?
Just need to merge it with Gaia, and she'll have enough power to handle Hephaestus.
Hopefully.
Good news. So, what can I do for you?
What have you been doing?
So, you and Zoe got into a bit of a fight, huh? Should have known better than to suggest Hephaestus could make new land gods to replace the old ones in Plainsong.
The last thing I wanted to do was dismiss their traditions. But I was trying to look at things differently. More like you know? To see a machine as just a machine.
Yeah, makes sense.
I guess I led you into trouble there, didn't I?
Not your fault. Don't worry.
Looks like things between you and Zoe are better now.
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
Okay, I can live with that.
Better get this to Gaia.
You did it, Aloy.
Let's hold off on the ale till it's over and done with.
I'll let Aaron know.
Okay. What, did he already bring the ale or something? Errant. My boy.
Looks like you got what you wanted.
Yeah. It's almost time to go after Hephaestus.
Finally. We get to rock and roll.
Hell
At
yeah.
least that's how the old one said it, I think.
What's the equivalent phrase for death metal? I don't know.
Bet you're used to that focus by now.
Well, I can hit machines in their weak points. I guess that's something. I wish all the other data was as easy to deal with. To be honest, it's hard to understand half of what's on there. And then the other half reminds me, this isn't a fight you can win by just waving a hammer. Which is kind of what I do. But hey, that just means I gotta study harder. Make myself useful.
Just give it time. Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe asked us to help her bring more plants in here.
More plants?
Not for eating, apparently. Yeah, if you ask me, place is fine as it is. Metal might be plain, but it's sturdy. Nothing wrong with that. Who needs a bunch of vegetation?
I mean, it soothes your mind, I guess. Apparently, if you look at plants, it's calming.
I should get going.
Say hi to Gaia for me.
Will do. Alright, shall we also have a talk with Beta? She is somewhere else entirely, so I need to remember that she's still here.
I just think she talks.
If I can find her.
Too, if you knew everything there is to know about everything.
She can also crank out a whole army of machines to kick your sorry behind once she's fixed.
Well, I guess I just better stay on her good side then.
You better be. She does not have an icon.
Aloy.
She sounds disappointed, as always.
Hi. I'm back. What do you want to know?
Getting along with everyone?
So, aside from Varl and Gaia, who else have you been talking to?
Zoe told me how you met after your escape from the Hades Proving Lab. I had no idea you were severely injured. If the Zeniths had killed you, life on Earth would be doomed. My escape would have been for nothing.
But they didn't
Calm
kill me.
down.
And
Jeez.
thanks to Varl and Zoe, I was able to recover.
My god, she doesn't like me at all, and she's... I don't know. I guess she's just a child.
You said you and Varl talk sometimes. What about?
He told me about your tribe, the Nora, and the proving ritual you did. I told him if I was born into the tribe, I'd never be able to do the proving.
Why
Does require
not?
a lot of physical training, but there are plenty of other roles besides being a hunter.
I don't think I'd be suited for any of them.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not a Nora then.
Well, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, I guess. You have your strength, I'm sure.
So, have you been going through more of the recordings for my focus? What about studying Hephaestus? Have you been doing that?
A little. It's quite different from the subordinate function that escaped Gaia Prime 20 years ago.
How so?
It's mutating, changing its own code. At this rate, we'll never capture it.
We'll find a way.
If you say so.
She doesn't sound convinced. Goodness gracious.
That's enough for now.
Good.
Better, what am I gonna do with you? Even though we're clones, it's apparent that we are nothing alike. Guess it's nurture versus nature sort of thing.
I wonder what it's like.
It sounds very lonely, if you ask me.
But you will be alone together. Or the Zeniths were alone together. At the very least.
It is good to see you again, Aloy. I see you have recovered Demeter.
That's right.
Aloy. With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus.
Just like that?
Unfortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it.
Oh. Everyone? Beta and Val.
With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you've been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores. Where would we find a place like that?
Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert west of here. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I know that place. It's near the Desert Clan's capital. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
Oh, we've been there.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
Holy.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
Oh, great. This is bad.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work. I did a test. Hephaestus has written Alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher... Ted Pharaoh's Omega clearance. The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
The plan is coming together. I can't believe
Alva
it.
said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they use to get to the ruins of San Francisco. That's where I need to go. Hey Gaia, it's me.
Hello, Aloy.
Aloy,
Did you wish to
I have
continue our
managed to
discussion?
unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood.
I'm talking to you right now, Gaia. About the old world? Old world discoveries.
So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be a Pharaoh agricultural research facility. It's where they created the biomass conversion system, but also adamantine wreath. Did Elizabeth know they were working on that?
It is likely she was briefed on other efforts to combat the machine swarm, though her focus was devoted only to Zero Dawn.
That makes sense. But they actually got the wreaths to work. If they've been able to deploy it against the Pharaoh plague in time...
Using the data you recovered on the project, I ran several simulations and have concluded that it would never have worked.
Oh.
In all scenarios, the Pharaoh war machines would eventually hack and deactivate the wreaths before they could contain the swarm.
So Zero Dawn really was the only solution. There was a lot of data in the greenhouse facility about agriculture. Do you think it'll help the Quen fix their homeland?
I will run a query. Complete. The data contains information about novel crop production methods, which may be beneficial to the tribe in the long term.
But new crops aren't going to save the world, so I guess it's on us.
It is.
Okay, but we can save the world? Can you run a simulation on that, please?
So Gemini has 2 data cores. I've never seen a cauldron like that. But you mentioned something about seismic activity?
When my predecessor attempted to build the cauldron, construction was disrupted by a series of earthquakes. The data core had already been built, but the rest of the facility sustained damage. So, she began again. A second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she abandoned the site.
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No, though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
Okay. Are you sure Beta is okay?
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Hephaestus. With that attitude, do you really think she'll be able to build the rig and pulse generators?
It may take some coaxing, but with some assistance, I am confident she will.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's so quick to assume we'll fail.
Yeah, I
She's
don't
nothing
get her.
Like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here when we go to Gemini.
No comment. Gaia, you need to emotionally handle this or something.
All this data I've picked up in ancient bunkers and ruins. I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently with this material. Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties.
Okay.
He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
Why are you telling me this?
Yeah, no thanks.
That is what I predicted.
If it's supposed to be a surprise, surprise me. Like, you can't just tell me, oh, I have a surprise party in store for you. How does Erend know when I was born?
Is Katalo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he prefers to spend most of the time alone. He appears to be collating data on war machine progression and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague, to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old world warfare.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime for him. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his research.
Okay, I mean, he can do him. Biosphere status.
So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided, water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Hephaestus. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
Okay. Omega clearance.
There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Faro create a clearance level higher than Alpha? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere with the project.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with creating a back door to the Zero Dawn system, without Elizabeth's knowledge. My predecessor did not even know of its existence until he activated it to purge the Apollo database. It is, in effect, a blind spot, one that will allow us to subdue Hephaestus. And fortunately, thanks to Beta's information, we know where Omega clearance may be procured.
Right. Somewhere in San Francisco.
What about a plan to capture Hephaestus?
So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your Alpha clearance, which is why you will need to procure Ted Faro's Omega clearance.
Right. From his personal bunker, Thebes.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta in building the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How would I do
How long
that?
will that take?
There are calculations I still must run, but I estimate a few hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
I'm not sure about this. There's some uncertainties about this plan.
I'll be on my way.
I wish you safe travels.
So first of all, how can we be sure Ted Farrow's Omega clearance will actually work on Hephaestus? We only tested that Alpha clearance does not work, but not if Omega clearance will work. And then, yeah, the two other Cauldron decoys pulses is a clever idea, but there's still a high chance that the Zeniths will find us. It's just 1 out of 3, right?
And dirt. Don't forget all that dirt we had to bring in.
If we're going to go around trying to protect life, we should have more of it around.
I think it looks nice.
Yeah, and what if the Zeniths just split up and go to all 3 locations? Build more of their special machine, right? Don't know about that. It's quite risky. There's a side quest in here?
Yeah, this file's crazy. Why would anyone use oils for that? That's just I hear about you going west.
Turns out we need one last thing before we can grab Hephaestus.
Because it would have been too easy otherwise.
Yep.
You've been looking at any interesting data?
I asked Gaia to find me something to look at a while back. And she found the mother of all forges. They called it sports. Turns out the old ones spent a lot of time tackling and punching each other for points in one game or another. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the claim will be lining up to watch.
That's cool. But any training that's relevant for our cause here?
How are things with Katalo? You still scared of him?
Oh, she thinks she's funny. Actually, I played strike with him.
Oh.
I had to fill in most of the conversation myself, but I'm still alive.
Glad to hear.
Did you win? You probably lost if you're still alive.
I need to get going.
I think I know the answer, but are you sure you don't need any help?
I need help. So much help.
I mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them. In the meantime, Varl will help you get ready for what comes next.
Take care of yourself, Aloy.
And what about the Sons of Prometheus? Aren't you supposed to look into that too? You don't have any news?
I'm sorry, Aloy. After all the trouble you went through, you have to head west again.
Well, no one said this was gonna be easy.
You sure you don't want any backup dealing with the Quen?
They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so.
That's true.
Let me know if you need anything before you go.
The Zeniths?
If I get Omega clearance, and then we grab Hephaestus, we might finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once. You better not be slacking off on your studies while I'm gone.
And risk Zoe coming after me? I value my life. In fact, I've been reading about Ted Farrow. How he destroyed the world and crawled into a hole after killing those who saved it.
He definitely was a piece of work.
Yeah.
Well, Beta and Gaia built the rig. Can you get everyone ready for the mission ahead?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that everything's about to change. We'll get Gaia, and she'll help us set things right. No more Zeniths, no more derangement. It'll be a different world. I welcome it, but I wonder how the Nora will react. And the Karja, and well, Everyone.
Let's just focus on fixing Gaia for now.
You're right. We've got an angry AI to take down.
Let's discuss this after we save the world, maybe.
I'll be in touch if I need anything.
I'll make sure Beta briefs everyone on the pulse generators.
Good.
So, hope you're not giving Val a hard time.
Aloy, I hear you're going further west past the Tenakth clanlands.
Do you know anything about the area?
Only hearsay. The Utaru tell stories of an island that lies beyond the western coast. They call it the Isle of Spires. It is said the Old Ones built towers there that touch the sky, so they could live far away from the earth that bore them. As if they didn't want to be reminded that they'd one day return to it.
Sounds like something Ted Faro would do.
Oh, she has news about healing the land gods. Okay. But first of all, your training.
How much have you read on Ted Faro?
Enough to wonder how a man who worked so hard to heal the world once could let greed and pride condemn it so easily. For one spirit to diminish in such a way, I'm not sure if I should hate him or pity him.
You and Varl doing okay? Training, I mean.
We're doing fine. Although I admit it'd be nice to take a small break from studying, just the two of us. But then who'd look after Erend?
Kotalo.
Oseram with a brooding Tenakth. What could go wrong?
I mean, they did play Strike together, so I think it's fine.
What's everyone been up to?
I've been trying to share some of my meals with Beta. Thought it might help her feel more at home. Maybe even get her to sleep up here instead of in that dark basement.
Good idea.
She would not be moved.
I appreciate you trying.
Patience reaps the best harvest. I'm not giving up hope yet.
Yeah, she's so out of place. I don't know how to make her comfortable.
Any progress with your plan for the land gods? Is the reboot code ready?
It is. But there is difficult work ahead. Gaia warned me that because the land gods are linked together in a network, the code must be delivered to all of them. Most are in Plainsong, but in recent years, 3 of them wandered off. So, T, and Do.
We have to find them?
No, we know where they are, but they're hard to reach. So, wandered into a lake and sank. Do ventured into a dangerous canyon, and T broke down amidst a herd of machines.
Okay, tell you what. You go to Plainsong, handle all the land gods there. I'll take care of So, T, and Do. I'll need their locations, plus the reboot code.
I'm sending the data to you now. My people made shrines near where each land god faltered. When you see them, you'll know you're close. And once again, thanks for your help.
We're not gonna let your people starve, Zo. I promise.
Very good.
Well, I should get going. Hopefully I can bring back what we need to capture Hephaestus. After that, I'm gonna need everyone's help.
We'll be ready.
Finally, we're making some progress here. Goodness. Oh, you filled up my stash. Thank you very much, though. There's still a new quest. From Kotalo? Yeah.
So that's where the rebels chose to take a stand.
Got a minute?
As many as you need.
I have to travel beyond the western coast.
To the ruins, shrouded in fog.
Yes, and I'm looking for a tribe, the Quen. I encountered them once before. They said they came from across the Great Ocean. I was hoping that Tenakth knew more about them.
There were rumors of trespassers in the area, but we thought they were just bandits. Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but I don't recall them reporting back. We've had more pressing concerns, as you know. I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you.
It's okay. I guess I'll find out soon enough.
There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. It's personal. If you have a moment to spare.
Of course. Personal request. Interesting. And let's first talk about your training.
Found anything interesting during your training?
Gaia told me where to find data on how wars were waged in the old world. I knew the Ten fought against machines, much as we do now, but it seems they were among the last of their kind. Later, machines battled other machines on behalf of greedy leaders, as they vied for lands and spoils. At least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives on the line when conflicts arise.
There is nobility in that. But maybe we just need fewer conflicts in the first place.
Yes, of course. Hikaru would have it so as well.
I'm surprised. Am I surprised at hearing that? Yeah, we always knew Tenakth were all about fighting, but they were all about fighting machines.
What do Tenakth do to relax? You know, to take a break from training?
We play strike. Your Oseram friend, Erend, is surprisingly good at it, although he has yet to beat me. It helps one think strategically, hones the mind for tactics.
Somehow that still sounds like training.
Yeah, it is training, Kotaro.
You said there was something you wanted to talk about?
I've been speaking with Gaia. She mentioned that the Zeniths bind metal with flesh to make themselves stronger. I was wondering if you'd help me do the same.
You want to make yourself a new arm?
Yes. Gaia insists she can help me build such a thing if I can get the necessary data and materials. She believes these things lie in the place where Beta hid from the Zeniths.
Their ancient research lab.
I am not as familiar with old world machinery as you are. I could use your assistance.
It might be dangerous. The Zeniths probably still keep an eye on that place. We were lucky to get out of there alive the first time.
I see.
But sounds like this is worth the risk.
By the 10, we shall see it through.
Okay. Yeah, hell yes.
I should get going. I've got a long road ahead.
Should you need reinforcements,
I know who to call.
How do I start this
I'll call you when I'm near the
quest?
Zenith lab. We'll get what you need for that new arm of yours.
Thank you, Aloy.
The Zenith lab is not on our map, is it? It is? Oh, it is. Ninmar Research Lab. Wow, I wasn't aware of this. So that's the Zenith lab, okay. Seems like we have a lot of work to do still. Even though we have all the subordinate functions.